Oh, it's about time I pull out an ASICS. Hello. Ginger Runner. What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry here, the Ginger Runner, with another GingerRunner.com review, and a first for me. I'm actually reviewing an ASICS shoe. I can't believe it. Today's review is of the ASICS GEL-LYTE33 version 3. It's a lot of threes. First of all, I would like to thank my friends over at runningshoes.com for hooking me up with a pair of GEL-LYTE33 version 3s for review, so thank you, my friends. I honestly can't believe it has taken me this long to review an ASICS shoe. I had a lot of trouble with them long ago. When I first started running, it was the first shoe that I ran in, and over the course of time, just kind of caused problems. I ended up transferring to other types of shoes, other brands, and just went through the whole gamut. So I've just been hesitant to bring ASICS back into the review rotation. However, after hearing some pretty great things about the GEL-LYTE33 version 3, I was like, you know what? I think now's the chance. Let's do it. Let's bring it in, input it through its paces. The question is it a good shoe? Is it a shoe that I like to run in? Is it the Kinvara killer that some people have claimed it is? Well, I've got some unfortunate news for you. I have had some pretty big issues with it. While it does have some good qualities going for it, they're kind of outweighed by the negatives. So let's talk about these things, shall we? As always, let's start with things that I like about the ASICS GEL-LYTE33 version 3. Upper, completely seamless, nice and stretchy, plenty of toe splay action going on. The upper on this shoe is dynamite. Minimal overlays, minimal stitching across the entire top. I almost want to say this comes in as one of the top uppers that I've reviewed in the last year. It's just really solid, clean. While there might be some durability issues in the long run, pun intended, I haven't had any yet, and consider this a pretty damn solid upper. Light. Under 8 ounces, about 7.8 ounces. That makes for a wonderfully light shoe, which I totally dig. If you're familiar with my reviews, you know that I like a good light shoe, and this one fits the bill. Fast. The EVA midsole material, also known as So-Lite, is quite a bit more responsive than I was expecting. Just looking at the shoe, you think it's just a bit of midsole and a nice upper, and it makes for a nice cushioned ride, but the truth is it's more responsive than it is cushioned, which I'll get to in some of my dislikes, but that does translate to a shoe that responds well to a high cadence and speed. Definitely a bit more minimal, more racy. Pew. And unfortunately, that's it for likes. It's time to move on to the dislikes. First thing I noticed in this shoe, and I could not shake it no matter how many miles I put in it, heel drop. Now, I've had experiences with other shoes in the past where the heel drop is a bit larger, but feels more minimal. In this case, it's the opposite. With a 6mm heel drop, it's kind of in my sweet spot, but man, if it didn't feel like it was 12 to 15 millimeters. Now, there's gonna be people out there that are like, how do you even feel that difference? For me, in this shoe, it involved constant heel touching. Every stride, no matter how much I tried to push up into my forefoot, it felt like I was dragging my heel behind me. And when you notice that on every step, it becomes super bothersome, super tedious, and you're wondering, is it my stride? Is it the shoe? It's the shoe. Too responsive? Now, there are some people out there that would consider this a like, but for me, a shoe that is too responsive becomes uncomfortable, especially for the longer runs. If I'm running a 5K or a 10K, I can see where this might fit into my rotation, but man, that's about all I could really do in this shoe. Anything over 6 to 10 miles really tore up my calves. I just could not put long miles in this shoe comfortably. Slappy. Now, I've received comments from people who have run in the shoe before who have complained about the exact same thing. The shoe tends to be a bit noisy through the running gait. The outsole areas, whether it's EVA or blown rubber, tend to make a lot of noise on the pavement, like a slapping sound, and the last thing you want to bug you while you're running is a nice, loud slapping noise coming from your feet. Yeah, drove me crazy. And finally, it's Achilles heel. Now, in the version 2, which I never ran in, I noticed that the heel had a nice cutout for the Achilles back here in the rear of the shoe, but the third version does not have that cutout. In fact, it's a nice lump just there to rip out the flesh from behind your Achilles. It bugged me a bit, more irritation than full-on blister, but it's something that, like, well, come on, guys, what are you doing building up the heel around there? It's 2014. Let's work on this. And that is it for dislikes. I don't want to harp too much on this shoe. I do know a lot of you run in it out there and get PRs in it and run fast in it, so what am I missing, guys? Help me out here. And that brings me to the question of the day. Have you run in the GEL-LYTE33 version 3? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below, and let's talk about it, friends. But now it's time for points. Quality, 3 out of 5. Despite the fact that the upper is fantastic and I really dig it and I think it's gonna be good for this shoe, the other materials that they're using for some reason don't mix well for me. I had to dock them some points, 3 out of 5. Comfort, same thing, 3 out of 5. I wanted to love this shoe so much. I wanted a nice, light, flexible shoe from ASICS that was nice and cushioned and comfortable. It was like a Kinvara killer. I really wanted that because that's what I heard version 2 was for a lot of people. So version 3 for me was like, oh, this is gonna be it. And it wasn't. It was almost the complete opposite of what I expected. I still wanted to review it for what it was, but it just never got on my good side. Price, I gotta give them the credit. You can get the shoe under $100 $90, so it's gonna be a 4 out of 5. I had to dock it a point though, because I still don't know if it's worth it. Oh gosh. And finally, looks, 4 out of 5. I actually dig the blue and the bright yellow here, and there's other color versions out there that are also very cool looking. That brings our grand total to 14 out of 20 on this shoe. Ooh, I wish it was a little bit higher than that. I had high hopes for my first ASICS shoe. But I don't know, maybe that brings up a good question. What other ASICS shoes should I check out? I know a lot of you run an ASICS and have asked for a long time for me to review one. Maybe I just grabbed the wrong first shoe to try. Is there another ASICS out there that you like or prefer that I should throw into the review rotation? Let me know in the comments below. So before I let you go, again, a nice shout out to runningshoes.com for hooking me up with the review sample. I appreciate it, friends. And that's it. I hope you liked this review. If you did, like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. And of course, I'm on all the social networks. So on Twitter, it's @thegingerrunner. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/thegingerrunner. On Instagram, it's @EthanNewberry. And of course, gingerrunner.com for all things great ginger review, podcast, everything. It's all there. And every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm doing live shows, interactive, so you can join in, watch, and interact with my guests. It's a lot of fun. Just go check that out. That's it for today's show. I hope you guys are getting out there training hard, racing harder, and partying the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.